people, we're back to give you the latest updates about the happenings in the world of transfers. This is Sideline Inside Football channel. We'll talk everything football related. In case you are joining us for the first time, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This is Fair on me and peace. We're here to talk about sport all over again. Yeah, let's start with Ademola Lookman, our very own Ademola Lookman from Nigeria, and then the host transfer saga, surrounding him going to Inter Milan from Atalanta. So, Fair, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I feel it's an interesting one though, and something also interesting happened yesterday on the social media platform Twitter. The Nigerian Super Eagles account went and posted this.
Yeah, we stand. I'm like,
I'm like,
what is happening
exactly,
here? That was so not necessary.
Yeah, because there was no need to do that. But yes, they are. I would not even really call it a saga because I feel eventually they are going to come to a conclusion of okay, yeah, you want to go. Maybe you say we want a whole lot of money to take you to a clear rival, which is Inter Milan. Inter Milan have been, although I still feel it's a bad move for me. If you actually, I feel he should be going out of Italian Serie A because I feel that's the next step he has to be making for himself.
We just hope everything gets sorted out as soon as possible, because the drama before saw it with Gyökeres, then with Victor Osimhen, and now is all this. I think the lesson is no verbal agreement. Make sure that everything is signed and written. All this verbal or gentleman's agreement does not really work with football clubs. At the end of the day, like it's a business enterprise.
If you're a huge asset to them.
Yeah, of course, if you're like one of the biggest
and
players.
Have a good season, a very good season.
Talk about Heung-min Son. Very a sad one, honestly, because I feel like for a sports player, honestly, I feel like he's one of the most underrated players ever played in the Premier League. And coming from an Arsenal fan like myself, I really rate Heung-min Son, and I felt like he should have done more with his career because he spent 10 years. 10 good years at Tottenham Hotspur, but luckily for him, was able to win. Fortunately for him, was able to win that Europa League. Because imagine staying 10 years at the club and then you do not win anything at the end of the day. But the fact that I'm super happy for him. Yeah. I think it's like the right time to make that move. Honestly,
because he's washed. Yeah. To be honest, we are being honest with that. Yeah. But I wouldn't say he wasted his career. I feel he had a very beautiful career. I feel every career has to do with moving to the big clubs because if.
I think that's why you don't really rate him to win, because it was actually at that level. I think the Ballon d'Or level.
I feel a reach because we have seen Hazard, we have seen Gareth Bale, but Neymar not even get to that level. Yeah. So yes, I feel that could be a reach, but he was a very good player.
I think if Heung-min Son was playing for Manchester United or Manchester City or even a Liverpool, probably would have had a bigger shout, a bigger rating when it comes to
possibly that.
Because they would have won trophies, but because we're not winning any trophy, we're not scoring goals, we're just more individual performances.
Yeah, but that's the same issue I have with and Harry Kane moved. Yeah. So that was what I said. People said, okay, Harry Kane moved to Bayern and eventually won something. That now makes him a better player. Personally, I don't feel trophies means you are a better player because you can go on with the Nacho that left Real Madrid last season and has a whole lot of Champions League. Yeah. So yeah, I personally feel he did a very, very good move for himself. And this is the best time to leave
when the ovation is still very high.
Yeah, after winning the title as the captain. So why not just make that move?
Yeah, so it's going to be, according to Fabrizio Romano, it's going to be making his way to LAFC in America. I think
they were the Club World Cup.
Club World Cup, yeah. So I think I was actually expecting Saudi Pro League, but this is actually very super nice for for Heung-min Son as well.
Yeah, and also for the MLS.
American MLS Major League
as Asian representation to the league too, and as their audience too, as a league that is also coming up and coming.
Alright, let's move to Darwin Núñez now, and the Saudi Pro League is actually calling Darwin Núñez. That's how bad maybe his performance has actually been for a while now, because it's just been a very big miss for Liverpool. Yeah, a big miss.
Yeah, I think it was their most expensive signing.
To Ekitike.
So
yeah, but now I think Al Hilal are also very, very interested in him, and the manager, Simeone, is super. He's a big fan. Yeah. He wants him as a priority, and I think everybody wants to fund the deal for you have to get Isak. First, it was Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich, done and signed and delivered. In fact, they made his debut already. So now you look at Darwin Núñez going to Al Hilal. Wow. Which is actually going to be a whole lot of money. They're probably going to getting their money back, the money that they got him from.
Possibly, because I feel Liverpool is demanding club. Yeah, you want him?
Pay. We'll gladly keep him because I think he has 2 or 3 years left in his contract. So Now let's talk about Mr. Isak. The man has been trending, and and then apparently this afternoon, well, before we actually got in the studio to shoot this video, there's this article that came out from how the Newcastle manager talking about his behavior, and then he has to end the rights to train. And I think I'm actually like what you said about him actually staying at Newcastle United might actually happen.
Yeah, personally, I've always been of the view that there is no possible way he was going to force his way out of the club, because Newcastle have declared that, oh, we are not going to sell you this particular summer. I think Newcastle are doing the right thing here. Hold on to your particular player. Next year you sell him, because I feel next year the market for him way more. I feel a lot of things are actually in the market for a number 9. And but now we also be without Lewandowski. So yes, I feel that's the perfect time to make a move for him.
And honestly, you have to look at the nerve of Liverpool, because they actually signed their main target, TK, and then they're now coming back again. If I actually Newcastle, I will hold on. In fact, even if he's not going to play for me, I'll make sure, because he has a contract to fulfill. Because the way he handled business, the way he just maybe fake an injury, we don't know.
He didn't even go for the
preseason tour as well.
So it was a very poor one for him.
And it's so funny, because I don't like. There's one thing that football fans do that I don't really like. I think when Trent was actually leaving Liverpool, they called him a snake. Now, what is the same energy for Isak? Now that he's coming to Liverpool, they are saying, get him in. He's a great player. You are not talking about his behavior and his professionalism, like with the way he's handling things with Newcastle United.
Yeah, football fans will always be biased and very, very
and it's not fair
when they talk about this particular thing. And that's what you always expect. I feel sentiments would always cloud judgments of any human being, no matter how they say, oh, no sentiments attached and stuff. Yeah, but like I said, like I've always said, Isak is going to remain a Newcastle player till at least next summer. I think next summer is when the move would actually materialize.
But what's it? Because we already saw like a bid of 120 million pounds got rejected. Do you think Liverpool will be going in again with maybe an improved bid of 140 million or something?
I highly doubt. I feel Newcastle will be standing on their ground that, oh, he's not for sale.
Okay.
And I feel there were reports that the Liverpool offer came in, and they didn't miss the valuation that Liverpool has already spoken to the Newcastle board that, oh, we are going to do this. So as long as that was first off rejected, and there's been no bid in over 3-4 days now, so I feel Liverpool have sort of cooled off on that.
What if they're actually waiting? What if they're actually waiting to sell Darwin Núñez, then gather the money from Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz, then because they have the money, they have the money, and they spent over 300 million already this summer.
So yes, personally, I feel I wouldn't think they were offering 120 million if they didn't have it set.
Yeah.
So I feel the Darwin Núñez deal is maybe different from it, maybe different in the sake of maybe you say he has sent a striker out and bringing in another striker, not because they want to use the Núñez money to go in for Alexander Isak.
Right. Let's talk about Alejandro Garnacho. Let's talk about Alejandro Garnacho now for Chelsea. And he's actually like Chelsea now is priority. Chelsea are also prioritizing him. And look at the signings that they've already made. Gittins, Estavio, who else again in that wing position? Yeah. And now they want Javi Simons already also because but that one is just stalling. He's stalling because I think they've not agreed a deal yet with RB Leipzig and all those things. But I think Alejandro Garnacho is also very keen on joining Chelsea because he wants to stay in Europe. I think he's had bids from offers from Saudi Pro League, and he said nah, he's not going to Saudi Pro League. He's still very young. I think he's 22, 23.
Yeah, he's one player which I feel he explodes in the right environment.
Yeah,
I think
he's a great player. He's just not consistent enough for me.
I feel his errors can be coached. Like coaching can actually make his errors way better. So, I don't know what Enzo Maresca will bring him in to do.
But it looks like Chelsea are so interested in getting him. So Enzo Maresca might be the right manager for him rather.
Yeah, would he be the right manager? I genuinely cannot say.
Because there are a whole lot of options, from Gittins to
Estavio. Probably going to be played.
Is it Estevao or Estavio?
Yeah, I think Estevao.
Estevao, okay, Estevao.
I personally think, but personally, I think Chelsea will be going in for a loan offer like they did with Jadon Sancho. He's not going to probably.
But I think Man United are actually ready to sell permanently.
Yeah, but I feel eventually as the window draws closer to the end, United will be pushed and say, okay, let's probably just do the loan, just like the way they do it.
Yeah, since it's not Kukuma in Ruben Amorim's plan anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's talk about Gerald Ato now, the 19-year-old captain. I didn't even know he was the captain.
Yeah.
And I think they said he made his debut at 16. 16 years old, and now he's the former captain of Ajax is now going to be Chelsea's official, maybe new centre back. Officially, it's done, signed and sealed according to Fabrizio Romano. I think it's no longer a news to all the Chelsea faithful out there. So I think it's really, really surprising, honestly, because he's just 19 years old and he looks older like that. Like, he looks so mature. I didn't even know he was 19.
He's someone who has grown in leaps and bounds over the last 3 years.
He's got a whole lot of experience.
Yeah, he has played in Europe.
Chelsea are actually building a whole lot. Actually, like for me, I think they'll be the dark horse.
Yeah, but you could say they could be the dark horses for the Premier League title. Just like they were the dark horses for the Club World Cup and they went on to win it. But yeah, I feel the Premier League is 38 game season and you don't expect.
It's just that consistency that they're not showing.
I feel that consistency is still something.
Because they're all young and everything, and they're all playing together. Well, for the future, I think Chelsea will be one team to watch.
Yeah, I've been saying for the last few years that in the next 5-6 years, this Chelsea's whole preparation.
I think 6 years actually 2 years, maybe like next 2-3 years. Because let's say they can manage to maintain this team for this season and then the next season, and then the one after that they will just explode, or even they might even explode next season. We don't know.
Yeah, but they are signing quality talents and they're also stacking up wonder kids consistently.
But not all the wonder kids will actually, perform. At the end of the day, some of them will be like just flops.
Development is not linear though.
Yeah, let's talk about RB Leipzig and Chelsea, because the deal is still stalling. No agreement made yet. Of course, there's a club-to-club contact already, according to Fabrizio Romano. And now they're also interested in Tyreek George, the Bukayo Saka lookalike. Exactly. There's this apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, it's a different deal.
Yeah.
No, because they want Javi Simons, Chelsea wants Javi Simons, but RB Leipzig are also interested in Tyreek George. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think they might actually get to get an agreement, maybe where they'll just had money. And Tyreek George and get Javi Simons, if it's actually their priority.
But it's an interesting one though. Another pure profit for Chelsea, if you ask me. I'm going to tell you that what's their name? I will not be paying less than £25 million for Tyreek George. Chelsea last few years have made a whole lot of profit from academy players. I think this is another one that they are going to be making for us.
All right. Let's move on to the ex-Arsenal player now, Thomas Partey. And apparently they said he has, signed a 2-year deal with Villarreal and his medical is done already. So he might be making his debut against Arsenal in the friendly before the start of the season. That will be probably early next week early next week. So I think this is a whole lot of controversy surrounding this one. But at the end of the day, I think it's a good move for Thomas Partey. He's going back to La Liga.
Also back in the Champions League.
So he's going back to La Liga where he's really familiar and where probably he had his best years.
Yeah.
So that's actually a great one. So Arsenal, I think nothing new about the Eze deal. The Eze deal is still there, although there are talks about them preparing a bid. Nothing has actually been made, but I think there was also talks about the contract, the release clause getting expired because they had a £68 million release clause. But then they said it expired, but that is not going to stop Arsenal from going in to get the midfielder stroke winger in. But at the end of it, I think, according to the reports as well, they are saying that Arsenal are just not going to get this. They are also looking for a left winger, but we don't know. But they are also in the market for a 19-year-old centre back called Jeremy Gyökeres. So Jeremy Gyökeres is a player that is playing for Rennes in the French league. Well, I don't know about this one, guys, because I feel like there are a whole lot of other things actually Arsenal need to be addressing right now, like the left wing position. That left wing is just basically just there. It's not existing. It's just non-existent.
If you even look at it, then I ask myself, I'm an Arsenal academy player and I play in CB, and I've seen a talented Mascara.
I can't really blame everyone going to Manchester United.
I see a talented Mascara coming who is also just 21.
Yeah.
Then I'm seeing another talented French
centre back.
Also probably on the radar, and I'm asking myself, where is the pathway for me to actually come?
It's only attack and midfield.
Exactly. Then you now look at Saliba. Saliba is probably not even up to 25 yet.
Yeah, it's 24, 23.
So there's a whole lot of. I genuinely don't know how they're doing it. Probably they're not trying to bring up academy players.
But actually, because I've been following the academy this season, and I know that the defense is actually shaky.
Yeah, probably.
The defense is just there. Let's not lie. Compared to the attack.
But we saw in preseason, we saw this Solomon guy what's his name, for the Arsenal side, and he was just there. Although
he's still 15
years old.
He's still 15, yeah.
But I generally don't understand why you.
Well, I think that
that.
let's like it's because Jakubio might be leaving.
Oh,
Jakubio and
that's it.
Zinchenko might be leaving. I'm very sure I reported that last week that Zinchenko might be staying, but reports are also saying it that he might be leaving as well. So I think if they get the offer right, the right offer for them might be letting go of these players. Now, let's talk about Claudio Echeverri. Like the player that Manchester City also signed. I think they've been really quiet. They got their business done early, and they're not just doing
I
their
think they
thing.
signed him last year.
Now let's talk about Paulinia. That Paulinia, probably the one of the most sought after midfielders before he went to join Bayern Munich. Okay. Now he's making his way back to the English Premier League, and he's going to be joining Tottenham Hotspur on a loan. And his salary, according to Fabrizio Romano, his salary is going to be covered fully, so there's nothing to worry about that one. Do you think he's actually going to do well in Premier League? Because really struggle with game time at Bayern Munich.
Yeah, but I don't know what Thomas Frank is probably going to come up with his Tottenham Hotspur.
You know, Thomas Frank is like kind of a defensive minded.
Yeah, that's it. But I feel there's going to be an onus on him to actually say, okay, I'm in a traditional top 6 side. I'm not going to be sitting back and say, okay. I feel that's when
I think he's going to sit back against big clubs.
I feel that's when Espirito Santo also failed with this Tottenham Hotspur side. He came from a wolf side that sat back and played 3 at the back and did all that. He tried to replicate that at Tottenham Hotspur, and that didn't work out for him. So yes, I feel finding her in a possession-based side is a negative, no matter he was playing, and that's why he didn't have enough time under Thomas Tuchel and Nagelsmann and eventually Vincent Kompany. He was not just able to stamp his feet on a starting.
They had injuries though.
Yeah, for sure he had injuries, but I feel for Pavlovic to come from the Bayern Academy to come and displace you, that shows there's a whole lot that you were not actually giving to the team, and I don't know how that's going to work. Although you could say he performs as a destroyer, but look at the Tottenham Hotspur. You have a certain bench that you have Pape Matissa, you have Bissouma, all the midfield who are in quotes destroyers. So who's now going to be able to progress the ball forward? And now we're hearing news of his Madison being injured. So you look at the Tottenham Hotspur setup and ask yourself,
he's actually injured. It's not like in news anymore. I think he got injured playing a friendly against Newcastle United. So he tore his ACL and it's probably going to be out for the rest of the season.
So you ask yourself that, okay, let's say we win the ball back in midfield. Who is now going to carry the ball forward? They
have Kudus now.
Kudus is more of a left winger than a midfielder. And I feel maybe possibly midfielder you look at in the Tottenham side, I could say maybe he's a good ball progressor. I mean, 2 of them are Achigre and Lucas Bergvall. And I'm asking yourself, are you going to be saying, okay, an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old should be the ones carrying the ball forward for you in all time?
All right. The next transfer update is that Aaron Ramsdale, the former Arsenal player that went to Southampton and has gotten relegated how many times? 4 times. I think
it's over 3 or 4
times. Now it's like it's going to be a Newcastle United player because done his medical. It's signed. It's basically a new Newcastle.
I don't think it was he played in the game against Tottenham Hotspur. I'm not 100% sure about that.
I wish I hope that it doesn't get them relegated because that guy he's gotten.
He has that relegation aura.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
No, it's not really alright. I think he's just been so unlucky with the clubs that he's actually found in.
Because I don't know why you're moving to
Southampton, Sheffield United.
I'm sure you even remember another thing. Okay, he didn't play for Leicester. I think he got relegated with Bournemouth.
Let's move to Chelsea again, and that is the fact that Kieran Dewsbury Hall has agreed a deal to go to Everton, and Everton are also moving this Everton, Sunderland, Burnley. Nobody wants to leave the Premier League, and it's really interesting. But I think some people will still get relegated. I hope it's not like any big club because that would be really funny. That would be extremely funny.
United?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think United are. I think they're going they are closer to top 4 than relegation battle this time around.
It's funny you say that though, because imagine telling someone from 10, 15 years ago that United will be struggling.
Yeah. Nobody saw that last year coming. Yeah, so. I think they actually shot themselves in the foot because they should have sacked Ten Hag before.
Yeah, before the season started.
Yeah. Alright, that's the video there. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We'll have another video coming out tomorrow. And that's a video about managers under pressure. So you make sure you look out for that one and you watch, you like, share, and subscribe. Follow me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys. See you guys next week. Bye.
Subscribe to my channel.